Hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighbourhood. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar child.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does.
I had to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off. I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who, no, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there. with your questions.
Yes?
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply...
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is. Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it. You want to cry? God, you're weak.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police, it is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy. You can find Luke down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you, now that he's back on his feet. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry? Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you, Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is... I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out.
Don't don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to confirm this.
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You don't feel like either one of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
Don't be silly, Harry. Harry Dubois, that's a real man's name. A Union man's. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man, do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? Family, Harry, is the most important thing in the world. Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages, your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois.
The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois, hanging from the Kavalsun crane, can be somewhere in Mirova. A beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have left him." Everard's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, "I know everything about you, Harry."
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is really something.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume? Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He is not.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another...
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
It's a fortress. He knows she can't get in here. He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as...
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container.
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing, but the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Wait, you need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Yes?
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out.
Draw. You attempt to turn to your left. The lieutenant considers your...
How'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Of course, I got you. You don't know anything. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Bull or weasel? Oh, I know what you mean. I'm pretty sure he's actually Occidental, though. So you're gonna be committing fratricide, my racist friend. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in, this jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children? I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Who he is and what they're fighting for? Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you. We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've made it. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties. What?
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world. Sure thing. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He means a more violent faction could easily take care of such a thing.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. Our personal dynamic has changed a little. So it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
But
While I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Look at him. His craniometric perfection. Are you cops or what? Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit? I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today. Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a Union man from now on. I am not the first line of defense. The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone. And now leave me be. Racists are generally not.
Welcome to Revachol.
I am not like them. I am. You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual. You do not wish to be judged because you are.
native on the chief, huh? Those ballerina antics were reckless. Should have just punched him in the throat again.
Wrong. You did the right thing with Measurehead. The ballerina antics won you the fight.
Let's talk about our right to work. We were promised work. We'd be in there. Work.
The physically impressive. A lorry stuck in the tree.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? Ah, man, me and narcotics go, but those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment is where a law officer gets a person to commit a criminal offense.
Yes, it's like trying to trick a person into doing something criminal that they'd never do. So you do realize entrapment doesn't work if you announce you're going to do it in advance?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bus.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's... Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer. Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer. Yes, hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective? No, absolutely not.
You hear the call breaking.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, be smart about it.
10-4, sir, I'm not hearing your question. Ten-4, your address?
Hold up, Jules. He doesn't fucking know where he lives? Did I hear that right?
Seems like it, sir.
No, fuck him. Don't tell him anything. You understand? He's been hellbound for the gutter.
Sorry, sir. Anything more I can do for you? Over.
What? What is it?
He wants to verify.
But of course, it says tell him to stop wasting.
What do you need, sir? Over. 10-4, well, that's,
Does he actually want?
He asked if...
For God's sake, got this shit!
Sir, Satellite Officer Vicmar says... So, was there any... Understood, sir. Over.
Wait. Before you're going to be looking at a straight...
10-4, sir. Understood, sir. Roger that.
inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use. What do you see?
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of...
The fuck are they on about? cop's gonna cut his shit up.
It's not about cutting. And no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work. An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. Usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now...
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Into the wild pale yonder. In the past, way out in the west. I'm a joke. Look, there is nothing funny about jokes. A killer, a motherfucker, and a killer.
Takes one to know one.
Go ahead, Cobo. Love did me in, brother Cobo. It was love all along. Come back later, Cobo. Amuse yourself with
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus. Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things, while you will... That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next...
KK57-0803.0815. Next, NA. Next, NA. Roughly 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat.
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with March 4th, 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is
KK57-0503.
None, at least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair. her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH. 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations of...
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo resembling a microelectronical circuit board. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread off a ragdoll's head.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max! Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
see. My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! Let's get up and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as...
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item. Hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Kobo. What can I do you for? You get me, Kobo. I feel like you were once, for tenderness and kisses yourself, but then shit went south and now you're ahead of even me on the pain front. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
You don't even have a joke.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, Jack, that fuck!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel, no you don't. You can keep it in. You manage to suppress the contractions trying to enter your...
They're alright.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone.
At maximum
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the...
Right. Next? Nothing. Just in case.
The corpse lay slouched to the side, oblivious to its...
Alright. Bite marks, contusion, a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. He is deep in thought. Eyes...
Why do you say that? Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you.
Please get yourself together. The lieutenant from Precinct 57 thinks.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination. Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
Why, yes there was. It was massive. Red eyes glowing in the dark.
Now, that's an overstatement. It's not actually for storing cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
The man is decomposing visibly now. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. This orange machine is buzzing like an... The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to...
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll...
The two of you. The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the butcher, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this, perhaps even some pagan rites.
Of course you don't. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. This does not leave this room. As impressive as the fridge is, this is a small victory, among numerous defeats. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Kobo me Lobo. Just a small gulp away, my beloved Kobo. As I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. Come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento.
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin. Oh,
it'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
A thick layer of coal dust covers a hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. Bent metal, broken glass. Your path. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Look, there's a discarded milk carton on the floor. Why don't you destroy that too? You're right. That's definitely not the behavior of a destroyer at all. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its... There, working class drunk. You know what? Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you? Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something a nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try.
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being
Right. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabineers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, seek it.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. No one.
No one has...
Yes.
Look, officers.
The possibility.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabineers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorate...
Yes.
He's not going to become an entrepreneur.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Excuse me? I don't know. The most talkative one? The what now? No, you're not. Don't think that.
She doesn't want you to be the fuck up. The woman before.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet? Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
No, absolutely.
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back to her hands move over the book covers. An array of neurons fire. The woman before you nods and the spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Remnants from the revolution. These are over half a century old. Perhaps a crime of a sort ages ago, but no, not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Should we go?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nail, you try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the... Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. Of course, the lieutenant picks up one.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into...
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see, perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out...
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Lower intestine? The term is fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is quit stalling, Bruta? We're talking about the weakest, worst, most... Yes, them. Women. Women. Men of war. You don't like them. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things. Okay. Yes, let's call it that. Good thing. You're going to keep your vooz, right? Keep your vooz, bro. There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It is one of betrayal and it's just a racist mug. What's the but? It will not happen. This is the flag of Revachol. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun.
Yes?
A row of mugs sits. Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places. Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them. The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money...
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push. There's a militant wing inside the union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if...
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides...
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. he's not worried.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like... Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So he's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs. And on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But he thinks it's...
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff.
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. right next to a fancy new youth centre designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. By now, I'm sure, Harry, this
You mean our
a security.
He performs.
I'm talking everything they did there, they brought over here. No, Harry, the elephant. No, you have. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers, one of them got...
By
Harry, we got grit, potentially, Harry, potentially. There's a militant wing. They're like you guys.
So these...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping, he probably worded it differently, but that was the idea.
Aren't you worried?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you.
By all means, Harry, what's on your mind? See you soon, debardeur. Just...
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the...
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling a loop.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of... You take the legal document. A small mountain of colorful... The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels. Several maps have been attached to... The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of...
Always good to be informed of your surroundings. I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martin, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of mud. Your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt on the...
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Again, just...
Good one, Titus.
How many people have you sent?
Or send them to reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life. Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh?
He's clearly been in solitary.
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Are you deaf? Do you think you could do that? That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide what you can do right now.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to...
I know, Lizzie. Why not? Yap my ear. Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. So am I. Now, how about you get the... Why? 'Cause he was... So am I. Now, we hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went...
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style. Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man, weren't you listening?
With numbers, asshole.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened...
And fuck you too, Copper. Picking on Angus like...
His all-muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Like what, Copper? About fucking time.
Starting from the right, sitting on his right, across, a symmetric burn on his, and then standard working boot. The emblem on his vest in the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced on his neck. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man in the middle, heaving. In conclusion, these 7 are exactly...
The fuck is with you, fella?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be...
Even Ahmad?
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what?
No, Glenn. They aren't. Aggressive?
We've talked to her.
Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask. Or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job. Ask your questions. What you want is of no significance.
Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too? Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25... Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about... Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get... Very well, I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over. Did someone mention cocaine? Are we doing cocaine? No. I'm sure I heard someone say cocaine is... Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one. Okay then, lie down and let the water...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You know...
Of course, officers. I'm glad you like...
Can I help you?
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, that's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But who said that? It's the fat racist, right?
So you admit you're a lawyer?
No, I just said I work harder.
Realizing he can't get out.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No! That's insane! It's the fat hit. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know. Maybe.
It could be.
All of them. I don't.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers...
You keep coming back. That's good, officer.
Evening, officers. Well, there's the fishing village. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruin.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the... You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against... Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal, some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? A crumpled billboard reading, "The sign billboard has fallen on the water lock." Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags. Side slip marks in the black marks on the roof. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the... The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. Still speeding, the vehicle... There are two good candidates. The Caprice 40 and the... It's about the right size. Very sturdy but light motor car. You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looks...
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. Oh. The traffic hooliganism? I hope not. Fortunately, we are not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? If we must.
I'm not expecting him to get far with... The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me. How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? When I have my move, because they can no longer recognize the big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. In the middle of this town, there's a...
You feel very cold suddenly, as if
Oh, Sim. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see? What I feel? Yes. There is a protagonist.
Those epithets are familiar some. I don't like the sound of any...
Then what were you getting? Why would I want to do that? Lowman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Good. I don't care about drugs. Little molecules, they are nothing.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I ain't no snitch.
Actually, there is a shortage of...
We weren't put on this earth. Give me a moment. Ask away, police.
She mumbles some kind of a...
Ask away. The artiste. She leaves an old...
She mumbles. A plaster cast bust depict.
Trying to sneak up on me. Come to...
Apparently, she...
Pigs come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out. Then why are you sneaking up? Trying to sneak up on me.
Just an ordinary wall. The door is closed. The door is still the lieutenant. He doesn't like it. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. The door sits sturdily.
Stop that.
This door can only be opened with...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me. I don't know what you're talking about. Headed something. He stole his emperor. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means La Put.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. Looks like the lieutenant.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his...
Yeah, they're his little bitches.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the law.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turned. I softened him up as best I could. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him. Men like this only time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too. A lorry stuck in the traffic. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed.
Likely, yes.
He was acting tough. Old monument stand. This screen found A to Z, contemporary.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and two steering levers.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This screen found A to Z, contemporary. The door is locked. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put with a firm grip. You raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth. The window shatters and drops.
Subtle.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile. Looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved. No, that's on 70. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. Doesn't look like it. For contacting an entire looks like we are dealing with
a 20-kilometer radius at least. The smell of 1,000. These, one of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's the remnants of a sweet June. The actress is draped in a sheath dress. One of her shoulders bared. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel. to get, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? We should talk with Titus, see what he's got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of, it looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast. These formulas look oddly.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest, he closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found. So we don't... Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between...
Listening in on your calls, between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the... All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descend as elegant.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
I'm going to say no. Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. A debrief over after you.